Following tensions in the EU, gold is extending its rally on Wednesday, pushing above the 1,300 resistance level, but will risk-off attitudes change soon? Joining me today, Frank Holmes, CEO of U.S. Global Investors. Frank, need to get your thoughts, first and foremost, on Italy's political situation. Is there a risk that Italians will vote to leave the EU by the end of the year? How do you see it?
No, I don't think so, but I think there's a contagion problem. And that is in 2010, the concern was that most of the bad loans in Italy and Spain were owned by French and German banks. And the EU since then has escalated by 300%, owning these bad performing loans. It's $1 trillion of non-performing, they'll never pay loans that are stuck in the other banks. So the concern is the credit default swaps spiked for Unicredit Bank in Italy. They also spiked for the Italian currency as a relative basis for Italy. I don't think that's going away. I think they're going to resolve because they just owe too much money. And I think that's another reason why the Germans a couple of years back kept taking all their gold out of the US and sending it back to Germany, because they realize how precarious this is. And if I was European, I'd be going and borrowing as cheap money as I could and buying bullion. And I'd be doing the same thing if I was Japanese, because you can borrow way below the CPI numbers in those countries. And gold is just the ultimate asset class when you get these credit crises.
Frank, and Italy, one of the largest gold holders of the world when it comes to central bank holdings, do you think that the concern is they might sell some gold to get out of this mess?
Well, I don't think so. I think there's too much. They're too afraid they can't buy it back unless it's at much higher prices. And I think with this whole scenario of peak gold supply from mines, and looking forward, we're going to continue to see global population growth in China and India. We're going to continue to see credit crises out of Europe. I think gold trades higher. And I'm still staying tuned to my pick of $1,500 by the year end.
Well, Frank, you just beat me to the next question. I was going to ask you if this changes your forecast at all. But we remember, lest we forget what gold did the summer of the Greek crisis. Could we see a repeat this year with the problems in Italy and Spain?
Absolutely. I mean, they still have huge union problems that the youth, the millennials, can't get jobs. So where are they going? They're going to England. And that creates its own drama with the Brexit, but that's where educated, highly educated youth are going there to get jobs, because the unions have blocked them out from getting jobs in Italy and in Spain. And now you have this, they can't even pay their loans. And I think the big part for the listeners is that there's a anti-establishment vote taking place. And when they use that word in Italy, it's the taxpayers that are fed up with socialist government bureaucrats. And there's a pushback against them, just like the British did against the unelected EU ministers dictating what policies are for the Brits. So there's a rebellion taking place. That is good for gold.
All right, Frank Holmes, thank you so much for your thoughts today. We'll see you next week. And thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey.